Good morning, everyone. All existing protocols observed. I'm Dr. Tairu Kolawole Yekini, the first senior prefect of Ikolaba High School, 1980 to 1985, and it is my pleasure to give this presentation. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic-related restrictions, I'm not able to give this presentation in person. As I'm here with all of you to celebrate this anniversary of the Ikolaba High School Agogiari Alumni Reunion, I feel a great joy when I consider where many of us started to what we have achieved since our time together. Yesterday, boys and girls are now mamas, papas, and even grandparents. I also really appreciate the organizer of this event for their concerted efforts in bringing us as alumni together to consider how to best give back to the system that educated us. I'm even more grateful and honored to be presenting the lead paper. Under consideration in this paper is quality education as a panacea to ongoing security challenges and economic degradation in Nigeria. Put in another way, can a quality education for our young people provide some of the solutions needed to improve national security and prevent chronic economic degradation, thereby improving the standard of living and providing for further economic growth? Let's look at the education. Aristotle says that education is the creation of a sound mind in a sound body. To this end, it is the acquisition of knowledge, skills, attitudes, values, and beliefs. It is also any formative experience that has an impact on how one thinks, feels, or acts. Society benefits from a well-educated population because members become economically self-sufficient, which generates economic stability, are able to invest in the processes of governance, and are capable of innovation and creative problem solving, allowing for flexibility to meet inevitable challenges. Ideally, education should focus on the whole child and is responsive to the social, emotional, physical, and cognitive development of that child. It considers and accounts for the child in context, preparing the child for life, not just a data point to be tested. Equality education is a multifactorial and begins before the child enters school. Loving and supportive home environments are the first step in the educational process. Parents need to know that they can provide adequate nutrition and appropriate health care for their children. This happens when government agency, in partnership with community stakeholders, enacts policy that ensures the physical health and well-being of infants and young children. Students need access to individualized learning in a physically and emotionally safe environment with qualified caring adults. Upon completion of education, young people will then be prepared for what comes next, be it higher education or employment, ready to participate in global economy. Further, quality education provides for the outcomes needed so that individuals, communities, and societies can prosper. It allows individuals to integrate fully with their communities and access a range of services across sectors designed to support the educational development of their students. Next is security challenges. Before a society can thrive, it must be able to provide for its most essential needs. One of those needs is for security, defense of boundary, and enforcement of commonly accepted law. Any nation that is unable to provide security will have a population focused on survival, unable to move beyond immediate threat. Therefore, security can be described as a totality of peace for the individual, the larger community, the state, the nation. And this is the collective responsibility of government and the people. A secure nation is also a source of stability for surrounding countries and the world as a whole. So, a reliable peace is one that can guarantee quality of life and social cohesion for the survival of the individual, the group, and the nation. Available evidences show that Nigeria as a nation continues to face ongoing security challenges that result in declining health outcomes, insecurity of properties, government instability, and threat to the rule of law. Security challenges result in and cause the following: corruption, marginalization, social inequality, ethnicity, poverty and greed, loss of value system, religious intolerance, foreign infiltration through insurgency, poor leadership, high youth unemployment, porous national boundaries, failure, failing educational system, corrupt, ineffective judiciary system, the growth of court, excessive materialism, lack of trust in societal systems, human rights abuses, injustice, and lastly, lack of transparency. Let's look at economic degradation. The Nigerian economy has been disrupted by the failure of successive administrations to address rampant poverty, chronic unemployment, and preferential distribution of wealth based on ethnicity and religion. This has led to violence and crime against Nigerian state by individuals and organized groups. This violence include kidnapping, bombing, armed robbery, destruction of government property, and promoting governmental instability. These activities have impacted the gross domestic product revenue by stunting the national oil industry. Many companies have closed down or have significantly reduced operation in Boko Haram affected northern states and in the oil-rich south. They have instead relocated to other African countries that are more stable and provide less threat to equipment and employees. This development has increased the number of unemployment youths roaming the street and has become an easy tool for violence and poverty. Violent activity has also impacted global financial investment in Nigeria economy. With the perception of violence and instability, investors are reluctant to pursue any opportunity or development where there's little or no possibility of any return and a greater chance of loss. Further, the growth of foreign direct investment, particularly in tourism sector, have been adversely affected as some immigration department of European countries and United States of America have issued warnings to their citizens who wish to visit Nigeria to be aware of the security problem in the country. The net effect of a reduction in the oil industry, decreased tourism, and reduced global investment has combined to exacerbate the ongoing chronic unemployment among Nigerian youths, when hunger and frustration with economic disparity, limited job opportunity, and no potential for any advancement combined, violence and crime result. There's no benefit to following rules when there are no rules. The impact of quality education on security challenges. Quality education is vital to the stability and security of a nation. Well-educated citizens have greater access to new ideas and technology, as well as the capacity to evaluate ideas about governance and political candidates for office. A poorly educated community is more vulnerable to misinformation and has limited options to verify information. Instead, they must rely on what they are told by others, making them much more vulnerable to manipulation and false information. In Nigeria, the Boko Haram Islamists have been found to have high levels of illiteracy among their members. Because of this, the then Emir of Kano, HRM Lamido Sanusi, urged elites of the region to establish more schools. And also, under President Goodluck Jonathan administration, Almanjiri schools and nomadic schools were started in an attempt to reduce the illiteracy rate. In spite of these efforts, barrier to education persists. According to Normandy 2013, quality education helps to develop members of society who are capable of making rational decisions and using intelligence and judgment to solve problems. Through education, a moral framework begun at home can be expanded on and reinforced. Ideas such as integrity, respect for others, and honesty are part of the common purpose of education, helping younger generations develop into productive members of society. In addition, under the auspices of education, youth share in the communal experience of being Nigerian, learning nationalism, patriotism, and the benefit of cooperation and camaraderie among people. Let's now look at the effect of quality education on economic degradation vis-a-vis economic growth. Given the evidence of how education impacts individual well-being and instability, it seems only natural to expand to the macroeconomic perspective and examine the long-term impact on systems, agency, and governance within a country. There are three identified mechanisms which are directly affected by quality education. First, education improves the human capital of the labor force, increasing productivity and moving the economy to more active economic growth. Second, education improves the innovative capacity of the people who comprise the economy, bringing a greater understanding of technologies and processes and improving growth. Third, education facilitates the diffusion and transmission of knowledge needed to understand and process new information, allowing for successful implementation of new technologies and ideas. And this also leads to economic growth. To summarize, quality education improves individuals who comprise the labor force together. Within an improved labor force, there is increased economic output, flexibility for effective adaptation to a changing world, and improved knowledge diffusion among people, raising the standards for competency, conclusions, and recommendations. The interaction between education, economic growth, and national security raise questions not only about educational and national security policies, but also about the effectiveness of agents of security to perform their statutory responsibilities with patriotism. The following recommendations logically follow as a part of the panacea needed to mitigate further economic degradation and improve general security and confidence in Nigeria. One, the federal government should formulate and effectively implement policies and programs capable of addressing the root causes of security challenges in Nigeria. That is, high level of illiteracy, poverty, unemployment, environment degradation, shortage of infrastructural facility, and uneven development. Two, the government should phase out national poverty eradication program and establish a more viable and outcome-oriented agency, or even radically declare a state of emergency in the educational sector of the country, with the hope that this will be capable of addressing the problem of mass illiteracy, leading to significant poverty among larger population of Nigerians, particularly those residing in rural areas. The government should resuscitate the National Directorate of Employment and reposition the agricultural sector to play active role in job creation for Nigerian youths. This is where quality vocational education or skill acquisition comes into play. More so, priority should be given to establishment of technical schools and polytechnics, or even resuscitate the existing ones. Four, there is the need for collective security arrangement by all levels of government in Nigeria, that is, federal, state, and local government. Security control should be decentralized and policing, community policing should be embraced at all levels of government. This security configuration should produce a committee at village, community, local, state, and federal levels with the responsibility of providing sensitive security information for security agents at their areas of operation. This will ultimately assist in identifying criminals, their sponsors, and hideouts in the country. And lastly, the federal government should recognize the country's intelligence system and build a capable and more proactive security outfit in Nigeria. This will add more values in checking incessant bombings, robbery, kidnapping, and violent crimes or crises by hoodlums in the country. In conclusion, for all these recommendations to be achieved, quality education for all is the key. It is a known fact that education is the best legacy, which is the motto of Ikolaba High School, upon which we gathered here today. Up school, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. God bless you all for this opportunity. I wish everyone a happy deliberation and celebration. Best wishes. Thank you. Bye.